views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Bronxnet or the program underwriters.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Open 2.0, the show that opens the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Stay connected to us through social media at Bronxnet TV. I'm your host, Vanessa, and we've got a great show for you today. Our guest today is Amadeus, CEO of Platinum Boy Music, Inc., multi-platinum record producer, motivational speaker, and educator. Welcome to the show.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
We're honored to have you. We know you're a busy man.
Yes, I was late. Sorry.
It's fine. So I see that you started off drumming when you were 16. Can
Yes.
you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it was actually young. I was forced to go to Catholic school, and I didn't like that because we had to dress up. I wanted to be cool like this, and my mom was like, no. So they sent us to Catholic school, and in that school, they allowed us to learn a musical instrument. And I was absent on the day where we was able to choose which instrument we wanted to learn. I wanted to learn either the saxophone or the trumpet. But the day that I went, it was all the spots were filled, and the only thing left was the violin and the drums. Now, me being from the Bronx, being from the projects in the Bronx, I was not going to learn how to play the violin. So I just chose drums, fell in love with it immediately. It was like a God-given gift and talent that I didn't even know I had. And that's pretty much, how I got started with the drums.
So coming from the Bronx, like you mentioned, was it ever hard to come into the position you're in today?
Oh, absolutely. It's very difficult. I grew up on 169th and Washington Avenue. I'm from where people, they say that you can't do what I'm doing and what I've done. A lot of people that I knew or grew up with is no longer here, unfortunately, locked up, either selling drugs, or doing something wrong. And I chose to use music as an outlet, use music as something that I can do that's positive. It doesn't bring any harm to myself, doesn't bring any harm to anyone else. It allows me to make decent money that I can take care of myself and provide for myself and my family. So I chose that, and I really stuck with it. I focused, laser focused. When everyone else was outside and having fun and going to the parties, I was always locked in the studio. I was always going to church. They would laugh at me like, oh, they go to church, boy, they go to church, boy. And I felt bad about it, but I knew I was going to do something that I loved, and I'm glad that I stuck to it. I'm glad that I had parents that cared, that was really hard on me about it, and that's definitely one of the reasons why I'm here today.
So I'm so sorry to hear that, unfortunately some of the people...
Yeah, I know, thank you, yeah, it's life. It's life, man, and at the end of the day, we have decisions. We're blessed enough to be able to decide on what we want to do in life, and sometimes people choose the wrong route, and sometimes people choose the right route. But even when choosing the right route, it's difficult. It's nothing easy. It's potholes along the way. It's speed bumps. It's animals that might jump out in front of you while you're driving. There's different challenges, but it's about dealing with every single one of those challenges and using them to motivate you as you keep pushing for your dreams and your destiny.
So, with the struggles you've been through, how did you eventually motivate yourself to get out of there?
I just didn't like what I was surrounded by. I was surrounded by gangs, and I was kind of like the introduction to when the whole blood thing and kind of really came to New York. And I haven't really spoke on it, publicly, and so I'm actually sharing it with you because I feel like it's something that you guys need to really hear, and those that are tuned in. It was a point in my life where I felt like I had to be a part of the gang to protect my family. Because we were all going, I had brothers and sisters, we was all going to Catholic school, we was always dressed up, always going to church, coming home late night on the bus, walking through the projects at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, and it ain't nothing out there but negativity. So I felt like, man, if I joined the gang, I guess that would put a halt to anything that can possibly happen to my family. And it was a good friend of mine that was from my church, his name is Steve, and he was like, man, you joined the gang, and that's the end of our friendship. And I really cherished our friendship because he was older than me, and he was like an older brother figure to me, and he, always took me to the right places. We hung out. We did things that was cool and okay and positive. And
so he was kind of like your motivation?
Yeah, and I listened to what he said, and I followed what he said, and I didn't, have to join the gang, and thank God my family was safe. I was safe, and I'm here.
That's good and well and healthy.
Thank you. Yes.
So how do you compete with other CEOs or upcoming CEOs in the business?
You know, I don't really look at it as competition. You know, I feel like each and every single one of us on this earth has our own journey, our own destiny, our own God-given gifts and talents. The fact that you're hosting the show, I don't do that. I make music. You host the show. You know, I can't be you. Only you can be Vanessa, and only I can be Amadeus. So I don't look at it as a competition. I just do me. I do me, and at the end of the day, there's room and there's space and there's opportunities for each and every single one of us to be successful, each and every single one of us to make money and be great and to provide for our families. So I just do me. I don't really focus on competition.
That's a good, healthy mindset, especially for the viewers who are trying to become, upcoming CEOs
Right,
and
right.
come up with the business. So what would you tell those people who are trying to become in your position or in
Right.
a different position, but in that type of community set?
I just feel like it's all about passion. It's all about passion. It's like when you wake up in the morning, what do you think of? What do you love to do? What are you most passionate about when you go to bed at night, and you're dreaming? What are you dreaming about? Is it dreaming about you being a host and being on Bronxnet? Is someone wants to be a pilot, someone wants to be a lawyer, a doctor. And just because I'm in music doesn't really matter, because it's like at the end of the day, hard work, dedication, passion, drive, not giving up is all what it takes in order to live your dreams, no matter what it is that you want to do or what career field that you're trying to walk in. You know what I mean? So it's just drive, it's passion, it's drive, it's a spirit of not giving up. You're going to get a lot of no's. And even when you look at my success and where I'm at as a music producer and as a CEO and, working with over 90 artists, J-Lo, French Montana, Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, someone is still saying no, Amadeus. Someone is saying, no, I'm going to close the store and not allow you in. Someone is saying, I don't want an Amadeus track. Someone is saying, I don't want Amadeus to play drums for me. So you have to take that and turn that around and flip it and allow it to be a positive force for you and to motivate you to just say, you know what, I'm going to show them that I can do this and do it.
That's a good, way to start and a way to end and a way to continue your business and for other people out there. So, we have to take a quick break, but
Okay.
stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Open 2.0 after this. Welcome back. I'm your host, Vanessa, and we are continuing our conversation with Amadeus.
That's me.
Yeah. So you were mentioning with all the artists you worked with, like Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj,
Right.
J-Lo, all those people. So who is the most profound artist you have worked with and why?
Man, that's hard, man. You're going to put me on a spot like that, Vanessa, man? They're going to get mad at me, man. You know what? I would say, I'm going to name two. I would say probably Chris Brown and Trey Songz. And I mentioned Trey Songz because I've been touring with Trey Songz for 11 years. So, I've been blessed to be a part of his journey for a long time. We started working together on the first album, after the first album. So just to see his transition as an artist, as a man, and his artistry and his art form is just amazing. And I spend the most time with him. You know what I'm saying? So, there's good times, there's challenging times, there's fun times. So I've been a part of that journey and seen the whole, just like a roller coaster ride, even down to us putting together shows. So I would say, Trey and Chris, we have a lot of songs together, like a lot of songs. I produced 9 songs on the Heartbreak on the Full Moon album that was released.
Oh, that was a hit.
Yeah,
They're
that
all a
was a
hit.
smash. There was so many songs, though. I don't even know how everybody kept up. It took me like a week to just get through the whole thing. I would wait till I, had to take flights to Vegas and just go up there, and I'm up there for 5 hours, and I would just listen. So yeah, those are two of my favorite artists that I've been blessed to work with.
No, I definitely feel like, every artist out here has their own unique
Yes.
bump into the whole music career thing. But, we all have our, I don't know, like not favorite, but
Right.
you know what I mean?
And people that, you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it the most, Because then you're going to have, I'm telling you, you're going to be in trouble, Vanessa. They're like, why you didn't pick me? I'm like, Vanessa said.
So what fuels your creativity?
Just vibe, man. I'm big on energy. I'm big on people's spirits. I'm big on kind of taking in my surroundings. And I do a lot of traveling. So me touring the world with Trey Songz, having an opportunity to go to Africa multiple times, in Australia and London and all around the States, it kind of gives you a lot of creative juices, if I can say it that way. You meet a lot of different people, have a lot of different conversations, different energies, different food, different currencies, and all of that adds to your creativity. But what also inspires me is other people's music. I love listening to other producers, whether it's the newer producers or the producers that came before me, artists as well. So it's, I kind of vibe off anything.
Yeah, like use people's, well, what we say now, use haters as your energy and
absolutely.
prove them wrong, you know?
Absolutely.
So what would you say to people out there who doubted you or who didn't think you would be in this position you are today?
I'd probably just be like, but you know what? I've never really had a spirit of revenge to me. You know what I'm saying? I think success speaks for itself, and but it does suck when people doubt you, and it doesn't feel good when they laugh at your dreams and they laugh at who you aspire to be and who you want to be. It sucks, and for anybody that's tuned in, if you know anyone that's pursuing music or anything, man, just give them a push. And not a push towards, against their dreams, but a push towards their dreams, because all it is support. And you saying, hey, you know what, I believe in you, Vanessa, you're going to continue to be a great host, you're going to move on from Bronxnet, you're going to be on CNN, and you're going to be on CNN, you're going to be on MTV, and then you're going to be at the BET Awards, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, when you talk like that, people laugh, people think it's funny, but it's like, nah, man, if you can really do those things, you can really accomplish those things. Everything that I've dreamt of, I'm doing. I played Madison Square Garden a bunch of times, I played Staples Center a bunch of times, I'm a New York Giants fan, I played MetLife, at Hot 97 a bunch of times, I work with Jay-Z, I work with 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, like people that I've imagined and said, oh man, I want to do beats for them. I want to go on tour. I want to play that venue. I want to play that place. I was banging on my desks at school, getting detention. So to go from banging on my desk, getting detention to, playing MetLife Stadium where the Giants and the Jets play for 70,000 people screaming and roaring, and I'm just doing what I love to do is amazing. So, people say sky's the limit, and I say sky's not the limit. Why? Because you can go past it. We went to space. Right, so it's like sky's the limit. It's like, nah, man, you can go above. You can go above the sky. So
and even that, like, go beyond as
absolutely
far as you are comfortable and happy with what you're working with, and as well as let actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely, I love that.
So I see that besides being a producer, CEO, you're also an educational speaker.
Yes.
And motivator. So
Yes.
what makes you want to give back to the Bronx?
I just know where I'm from, and I know how hard it is to be where I'm from, and I know that, there's not really a big support system. When you look at the news, you see negativity. You see someone in a gang, you see someone getting killed, you see someone, in shot and drugs and the big rats that's the size of cars, running around NYCHA and all that type of thing. And it's like, I just want to bring a positive light to them over there. It's like, let's take a moment to get away from the negativity and let's focus on the positivity. The fact that I'm from there, I'm from the Bronx, I'm from 169th and Washington Avenue is no excuse of why you can't be great as well. So it's like a challenge to those that are in this, and it's not just people in the Bronx, it's everywhere, it's all around the world. Everywhere in the world you'll go has a hood. And I didn't know that until I was able to travel, go to LA and, go to Miami and go to Atlanta. Like, everyone has hoods where it's challenging and it's a struggle, and they might not have heat or they might not have lights or food. Like, it's the same struggles everywhere. So, I use myself and my position and the position that I'm in to just push people and motivate, because there's no difference between myself and them. So if I can do it, they can do it.
Thank you for talking with us and joining us, you the viewer, for tuning in. If you've missed any part of today's show, you can tune in the recablecast of Open 2.0 anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. Thank you and good night.